Okay, I won't lie, when I got this set, I kinda knew this topic would be what I would talk about in the video, but I didn't realize how bad the small dragons had it. Before I talk about that, let's define what I would consider a small dragon. That would be something roughly in size below the original ice dragon. So that's usually up to 15 euro sets or smaller side in bigger sets. And with that definition, the first years were rough. Basically, there was nothing. Like a few polybugs, that's it. Afterwards, it didn't get better. Basically, the ghosts had a few small side-built dragons in some possession sets, and they were honestly kinda bare bones looking. Like, it makes sense for the ghosts and stuff, but yeah, they were basically like those glider builds, but with like a tail and head, so not the greatest. The Destiny Bounty one was okay, I guess. The first proper set dragon that wasn't like a polybug magazine promo and stuff was cost and Metal Dragon, and yeah, you can kind of feel the price on that one. Just it suffers from the same kind of issues that like the possession dragons had, and like yeah, it wasn't good. I had it, it was alright, I guess. Yeah. Afterwards, there was again a drought of dragons that were in side builds until two things. Firstly, the far lesser. They were gimmick sets, so basically glorified a Jutsu with some lion wings. And if you want to count them, I guess them. But actually the thing I want to talk about is the Legacy Golden Dragon, which honestly was pretty good. Like, it just basically felt like a downsized version of the original Golden Dragon, but it was alright. Good job. It's like clapping on this here because I can't really clap right now. And afterwards, nothing much again. There are some junior dragons, but they're junior dragons, so yeah. And otherwise, again, side builds and stuff. The next substantial point in small dragon history, I would say, are the core dragons. Yes, they're usually 20 euros or above, but some of the Zane and Taiwan, they're pretty fucking small for the price, even so I would consider them small dragons. And yeah, they aren't the best. I mean, they're alright, but the fact that they often much exceed the price point of this ice dragon, and they just feel like, yeah, honestly, they're alright, but yeah, I feel like for 20 euro or above, they just up just about scrape by and being worth it, you know? But luckily and honestly pretty fittingly, Ninjago Dragon's Rising kinda ramified that. In the first wave, the Destiny's Bounty included a small dragon, which was honestly really good. And in the wave after, okay, yeah, there weren't any like small dragons. It was very mech focused. I don't mind that, but yeah. But in the March wave, we had Ryu, which I will discuss later because it's honestly the best small dragon we've ever had. Peak small dragon. I want to headbutt him. And in the summer wave, the biggest set, Tournament Temple City or whatever the fuck it's called, also includes a small dragon that's honestly pretty neat. So yeah. I think the reason small dragon suffered so much is because it's just kinda hard to pull off the wings and head of a dragon in such a small scale, especially because all the smaller dragons were created in the era of brick build heads for dragons, and that's honestly kinda hard to pull off on bigger sets sometimes, but especially on smaller ones. That's why Dragons Rising and the core ones honestly more decent, because during that point, they just had specially smaller molds for those elements of a dragon, and honestly it's a benefit to them. Shot around big molds, but honestly for the small dragons it's kinda necessary in my opinion. And also, big dragons nowadays also use those as well as like cloth or other like similar type wings, and they pull it off great. Those shapes need to just be very natural, and without very specialized pieces it's just kind of hard to pull off in Lego. And I think that was just more evident on the small dragons because they just had less part real estate to try to pull it off at least. Anyhow, let's go on to our success boy. Figures we have Aaron. It's just the same figure he had since the beginning of Dragon's Rising, so honestly not interesting. Like the hoodie ninja costume is neat, and like the sleeve to dragon design is cool, I guess. But yeah, like he has the Dragon's Rising bottom part, and like his special is top half with like the small horns, which is neat. And his weapons are just the government mandated golden katana and like the new March wave hook piece, which honestly pretty neat. Like especially for Aaron, since like he has the grappling hook thingy, so like hook that's also kind of like a climbing one makes sense to include on him, and also he has a pretty neat piece, so I don't mind having one more of it. On the back we can see that it has a continuation of the dragon design from the front with the tail and stuff, and also some Ninjago, and that I'm just gonna assume says Aaron, so yeah. No real face prints, just like a confident, determined face on the front, and that's it. Second main figure is Sora. Same deal as with Aaron, just the Dragon's Rising Season 1 outfit, which, yeah, honestly kinda annoying. Like, I wish he had a matching outfit with like the climbing suit and stuff like Aaron too, but yeah. But honestly, it's a pretty good outfit. I like the printed mechanic arm. And yeah, she comes with like her headpiece, which is a pretty new thing from what I understand. And the headpiece is well done. It's either molded or printed, I'm not sure. Like a hotish pink, like I don't know how to describe it. It also looks pretty salmon on pigs, but not really in iron. And her headboards are dark blue to match her bottom mask rising piece. Her weapon is only a government mandated golden katana, so yeah. But we can see the cute cut design, and we can see that she has two faces. One like using her powers in a confident face, and then like an angry face without using her powers. So yeah. The main figures are basic Blue Royal, nothing too special to say about him. Like the design, pretty good. His weapon is a scimitar, he has the shoulder pieces which is neat. Looking at the back with the wolf symbol, dual molded mask, neat. Face using power and then not using power. Pretty good. Honestly, I'm not sure if this is the exact one that comes in the set since I have so many and I have them on display together, so yeah. But like, they're all the same, so who cares. Now on to Ryu himself. He's mostly done in sun blue, which, yeah, is his color, so yeah. All his legs have 2 points of articulation, one at the bottom, one at the top, which is honestly pretty fine for like a small scale dragon especially. And also just because like, no, let's be honest, I feel like for dragons, like extra leg joints aren't as important as on like a mech, so yeah. Otherwise, articulation wise, his tail has 2 points too. And I guess you can kinda adjust the spike thingies so you can make it look a bit more bent. But yeah. And his head is ball jointed too and has pretty decent range, honestly. A bit limited to his side, but yeah. And then of course wings flap up and down. And I guess the claw thingies can do a bit of bend too. The design is pretty compact, like I said, the legs are all built the same. And a lot of bigger pieces are used to make the design. Firstly, obviously the head, but that's pretty standard issue with the dragons. And then we use more of the armor plating pieces often used for mechs and stuff, for like around 30% of the body itself. And then we have the wings, which are the ones on like the Rising Dragon sets. And they are pretty good like wings for like a small scale mech especially, so I don't mind them being used here. If you want to buy stickers, you probably won't like the stickers they use on the legs, but yeah, this on a square surface, so I don't think they are that hard to apply, but still. And the head itself is printed, so yeah, I mean, it's a dragon head. Dragon heads are basically always printed if they're like specially molded, so yeah. As you can see, there's also a saddle here, so you can see who is like riding him. But there's enough space for a second minifigure, which is neat. As one thing I appreciate is them using like this collar, like half circle piece here, just to close the gap between the head and the ball joint and stuff, so it doesn't look as exposed, which I appreciate a lot. Because yeah, like I don't mind exposed ball joint, like obviously it's a necessity, especially in small scale stuff. But if there's a solid way to cover it up without that much actual articulation hindrance, I don't mind it. Like I said, like at most it kinda lashes like to the side, but I feel like you can probably work around it. So yeah. Honestly, this is a good starting set if you're getting Ninjago recently. You get 3 pretty pivotal like long lasting character, as well as one of the Wolf Warriors, which are like the current villain goons, so that's neat. And the build, which is one of the characters, Ryu, is honestly really good, like it's one of the best small runners I experienced. The usage of the fused larger pieces allows them to use the other piece count to do the rest of the design justice without skimming out on certain parts. And all the large pieces are used in faces where it's pretty standard for donors to use specialized pieces, the head and the wings. And the only like, exception is I guess the bigger part for the torso and the armor piece, but like that's honestly a good creative choice for like the scale, which I don't mind. Especially because like on a mech, like the chest piece is pretty like substantial as well, and that's like no big deal. So yeah, great dragon. Also, let's ignore that this guy probably died.